Hello everyone, so just as promised, back with another reading. If you haven't watched the first one that I've done for today, please do go ahead and watch that. That was one that the energy was very, very strong. I do feel like there were a lot of people that need to watch that. But this is for a different group of people, and this is a different reading. This is actually one for the divine feminine and the divine masculine and the union energies. The other one was a Queen of Heaven spread, that one, and that was a Queen of Heaven spread just for the masculine, so it was a more in-depth look just at the masculine energies. This one is an overview of the divine masculine and feminine and the union energies, as I said. But the divine masculine here is not in, it definitely feels like it's for another group of people, and it feels like it's for that group that was slightly referenced in the other one. I'm going to talk about it very briefly, but the things to be careful of for the divine masculine in that other reading was people that were not likely to succumb to their blocks, but they but the blocks were kind of there, and those blocks were that kind of Five of Cups energy. But in the other reading, that reading was for the masculines who have managed to let go of that Five of Cups energy. And the Five of Cups energy is one of focusing on regrets rather than getting over the regrets and moving forward. So that reading was for the people that were able to really move forward, and they are enjoying a lot of forward movement at the moment. This, I feel like, is for people who are a little bit catching up, because they have got movement here, but they are still stuck in that Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups energy that they're not really able to move away from. And the advice for the divine masculine is to heal. It's the heal card, which is also the star. So we'll come into that. It's not... there's a lot of promise for them in this reading, but right now they are just a little bit more stuck in the lower vibration. So I would take it that other reading was for the ones that are in the higher vibration, and this one is for people that feel a little bit bogged down by stuff still, because I know a lot of people have released that, both feminines and masculines at the moment. Interestingly enough, in this reading, the divine feminine side is much more about, it's much lighter, it's much more joyous, it's much more kind of new starts, and that seems to be a theme regardless for the divine feminine. So for those of you that don't know, this spread is called, I did one of these yesterday as well actually, this is called the Treble Cross spread, and this is also on special at the moment just for the 8th of February. If you want it by this weekend, you have to get it today. You have to kind of order it up and stuff today if you want the reading by the 9th of February, by the 10th of February. But you can carry on purchasing it over the weekend, so on the 9th and the 10th. But if you get it on the 9th and the 10th, I'm not going to do the reading until late February, early March. The reason for that is I'm going to be away, and I'm not going to be, I'm going to be on a silence retreat. So I won't be able to answer anything. So if you want to get the reading at the special price and get your reading, you have to get it on the 8th. If you want to just make use of the special price, you've got the 9th and the 10th to get it as well. And then I'll do them once I get back. Otherwise, they'll just go back up to their regular prices. So also, if you've got an email from me and you're still waiting for a reading, because there's still a few that I still have to do, please check your emails and let me know which £25 special you want. That's why I'm doing both of them today, to show you guys what they both are, just to clear up any doubt. So please let me know which one you want. And yeah, without further ado, let's go into this. So these cards are recent, past, present, future for the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the union energies. These are the advice cards, and these are how both those polarities feel towards the union right now. So, and these are the underlying energies, and the decks that I'm using today are John Holland's Psychic Tarot of the Heart, which I usually use for this spread, and I'm clarifying today with the Hermetic Tarot, which is, I love it. It's very, very complex, but I love it. So let's start with the Divine Feminine. I want to start from this side. So the Divine Feminine was feeling joyous, was feeling celebratory, is that the way you say it? I can't even speak today. About just life in general, and also the fact that this is the equivalent of the Three of Cups, and in this reading and in this position that it's in, it's just signifying many divine feminines, if they were obsessing about third-party situations, they're kind of they're getting over that in some respect as well, because it's very much a new start. And I'm getting from this very much a sense of empowerment and a place where they can really kind of create their own future, and a sense of manifestation. I'm also being drawn to speak about the advice card and how they feel towards the union, because they're very connected at the moment. In terms of advice, it's very much to do again with creativity, and the fact that we've got the sun here as well. It's very much to do, I'm feeling a lot of Leo energy for some reason, so very much to do with solar energy and creativity, and I'm hearing almost like drama, a lot of glamour, a lot of excitement, a lot of the chance to make some real progress. And many people are going to be thinking about relationships and marriage, and that's on a lot of people's mind, probably because it's the 5th house of Leo, and I'm just being shown Leo for some reason, but I think it's more Leo. That's interesting because there's a 5 at the center of the reading as well. It's about projecting a certain image, like your place in the world, and really kind of stepping out and not being afraid to be seen, and to be seen in a different light. It's almost like a reinvention of yourself for this particular dynamic. So I don't know if that is actually relevant to you or not. Remember, these are general readings. This is for a different group to the group that I did the reading for before, but it's that new start. It's that sense of anticipation of good stuff, and it's that kind of taking the first steps to excitedly start on that journey. And where is it going to lead to? It's going to lead to this Ace of Pentacles, strengthening bonds, and also we have Seek as well, and this is the card of the Hermit, of also a Virgo, so that's going to mean something to someone as well. There's a real earthy energy coming from these cards, and that's to do with this new start, and it's to do with mastery, a sense of mastery, and a sense of the ability to actually do things, and the sense of belief that they have what it takes to actually do what they're going to do. So it's about faith. It's very much about having faith in their mission, faith in themselves, faith in their journey, faith in their relationship, and their choices that they're making. I'm also seeing choices. So this is a love reading, so maybe some divine feminines have to make a choice about which way to go, and you're very open to really tuning into which of these two choices, or however many choices, are more in line with where you are right now and who you are as a person, what you are wanting, and where you need to go. But it's definitely going to be the start of something in the physical. We've got 1s and 9s here, lots of 1s. So there's a real sequence of progression, things starting, things coming to an end as well. That's what I'm getting for the divine feminine. Really exciting though. I get just overwhelmingly positive feelings from that, of real, again, excitement, joy. It's almost like buoyancy. Buoyancy is the word that I want to use. So it's almost like if you jumped into like the ocean, you just naturally float kind of thing, and it's very fun. It's a very fun energy. Let's move on to the divine masculine now. Quite a few cards came out for them actually. I feel like they're wherever they are right now, this particular group of divine masculines, it's very much more complicated, and I almost feel like the overall feeling of this reading is tipped in it's heavier, and therefore it's taking up more space almost, kind of thing. So it's kind of like more of their reading than the divine feminine, mainly because you don't need to worry about the divine feminine in this group. Like they're just doing really exactly what they're meant to be doing. So the divine masculines were working. This card actually originally came upside down, and for this particular group, they suffered some delays in this ability to free themselves from negativity. The solar plexus chakra, the Manipuraka chakra, it's kind of the spot where all the nadis in the body, and this is the nadi spread. Nadis are subtle energy channels in yoga. And the nadis, there's 72,000 of them, there's a lot. And they all converge at this point. So, oh my God, this is going to sound really morbid, but for some reason I feel the urge to share with you a story. So, well, a story, but you can call it knowledge, whatever you want to call it. But so you might be familiar with the ancient Japanese ninja practice of harakiri, which is it's ritual disemboweling, which sounds very, very morbid, but in actual fact, and this was actually something that was said by my guru, actually, my yoga guru, and he was basically saying that they actually had a very subtle knowledge about the subtle body, and they only used to use a very tiny blade to basically locate this particular, wherever it is. It might not be where you think it is, so don't get any ideas, anyone. It's a very, very subtle art. Please don't oversimplify it. If anyone, I'm sure you won't, but if anyone has the idea of, of spreading, I don't want to talk about it too much because it's not in my experience, but the story goes, because chakras move as well, so you really need to know what you're talking about and what you're doing if you're, thinking about talking about stuff like this. But what they used to do was use this tiny blade to to basically disentangle all of the nadis, and that's how they would quickly and painlessly actually end their lives. So it was actually a very humane way of kind of moving on, shall we say, rather than a gruesome kind of ritual disemboweling that people kind of think about. But the reason I wanted to share that with you is because it's kind of a symbol of cutting the cords with and creating a distance between very, very high, dense things that were holding people back, and also karmic stuff from previous lifetimes, and essentially letting down a burden and a sense of kind of escaping and freeing oneself. Freeing oneself is the big thing. So that's why I was obviously guided to share you that story. So many divine masculines, the ones that were especially I was speaking about in the other reading that I did today, they freed themselves from a lot of things, and I speak about that in the reading. This is more about the guys, the ones that are still in the process of freeing themselves, and in the process of, these ones are a little bit stuck. So that actually still does want to be upside down, but it's on its way to being the right way up. So this particular group of divine masculines, and remember, just take whatever resonates and leave whatever doesn't. This has been really interesting for me, doing 2 readings, like general readings, in the same day. I only really wanted to do this one because I wanted to show you the other £25 reading, but it's been very enjoyable and very insightful, actually, and very, different than I expected. So these are the clarifiers, but I'll come to that in a minute. For where they are right now, we've got dedicated effort and we've got embrace. So here we've just got, this is just the 8 of Pentacles, symbolizing the fact that they're working really, really hard. They are working very, very hard to free themselves, because this is all about completion. This is the world. This is the 21. This is the end of the fool's journey, of the hero's journey even, in the tarot. And this guy's free now. He's transcended all the heavy energies. And he's connected to the underlying kind of, the energy kind of underlying everything. Sort of supreme energy. He's kind of very aligned, but he's in the process of completing whatever it is that he needs to complete, whatever it is that he needs to free himself of. Right now, though, he's working really, really hard. He's putting in that dedicated effort, trying to heal, trying to go after those dreams, and break free from the shackles so that he can reach, his potential. As the Star card. This is a major arcana, another major arcana. and this is the Star card. So it's not, you know, even though the underlying energies, they do seem heavy, it's only because the divine masculines in this particular group are really working hard to free themselves. The Lovers in this particular deck, so to clarify these two cards, we've got three. I asked for one, but three came out. We've got the King of Swords, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, and we've got the Lovers. Very, very valiant cards. This is all about kind of, it's all about kind of fighting, war. You know, these guys are all ready for battle. And here we've got, I think, was this Perseus who's saving, I forget who Perseus actually ends up saving. But basically, he's fighting for her. He's freeing her from the chains, very much. But this is all to do with the divine masculine. He's basic. This is very symbolic of a kind of union that's happening that needs to happen within the divine masculine right now, where he needs to free his own divine feminine to get into his own, the divine feminine within him needs to get into balance. So it's about getting alignment with the energies of the body, because if you don't know, this is the nadi spread. Nadis, there's a female and a male, a masculine and a feminine, sorry, I should say, nadis as well, which are the subtle energy channels in the body. So it's about kind of gaining an energetic balance between that, both of those for the divine masculine. And the Knight of Pentacles, this is a symbol of real progress being made in the physical and results being made in the physical, but it's happening slowly because this is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the slow knight. And in terms of the King of Swords, this is a symbol of things are happening in the mental space much more quickly. The King of Swords he's really sorted. He's really, he's quite a no-nonsense king. And he's very much a symbol of, reflected with this Aquarius card as well, that the Star card, the heel card, is the card of Aquarius in the Major Arcana. And that's very much reflected here. And we are still in Aquarius season, obviously. And this is very much gaining clarity of mind is the best way I can kind of describe it. And really strategizing is another one. Really strategizing and thinking about what it is that he wants. What are those desires? What is the star that he's looking at and wishing upon? And how is he going to go and get it? What's the best way? And it's kind of like, I'm also seeing navigation, using that star, that desire as a reference point and gravitating towards whatever it is that they want to go get to, and whatever they want to get, and going towards it slowly but surely, like this Knight of Pentacles. So it's much more slower moving energy than the other energy and the sense of movement from the other reading from today, but it's progress. That's completely unchanged. It's still progress. Where they're going towards is this rest and reconsider, which is the equivalent of the Nine of Wands. So there's still some trepidation. There's still some kind of, I mean, they're not rushing ahead. There's still caution, and they're not 110% sure just yet about what the future holds and what they're going to do. But let's have a look at how they feel towards the divine feminine. We've got the Seven of Cups equivalent, which is daydreams and decisions. And the energy I'm getting from this particular card is just them looking within and really wanting to be sure about what they're doing and where to go. So there is much more fear here because things are much more uncertain. There's still a bit of a lack of grounding. If you look at the other reading, it was full of pentacles, as well as cups. There was a lot of pentacles, so it was very, very grounded, and those divine masculines were feeling very sure of where it was that they were going to go, and that's why the fear was leaving them. But these ones, they're still trying to find that stability. They still need to do some of this. So that's this heal card, this healing. They are going to gain clarity from the light of the star. This is the equivalent of the star card. That's what's going to shed light onto how they need to progress, and then they'll be feeling a lot more secure. And that's going to happen during this phase. I'm being very drawn to all of the rock and the earth that's in this card. So the grounding will happen. And when that while that grounding has happened, there's going to be more separation, more silence, more it's very needed as well. They're going to need that time to rest, to reconsider, not even reconsider, just to consider what the next step is going to be. This daydreams and decision is clarified by this, the Ten of Cups. So anything, you know, whatever you might be thinking, oh, you know, they're not sure, that means that they don't care. That's not the case at all. In fact, they care so much. This is all of their hopes and dreams. I'm seeing another kind of connection between this, the heel card, the star, and this Ten of Cups. So this is the dream. This is what they want. It's just, it's causing them a lot of, the stakes, I'm also being shown the stakes are very high. So the stakes are so high that some of them are kind of, that's why they're hesitating, and that's why they're afraid. So in terms of the union energies now, there were a lot of heart activations, and this card has been coming up an awful lot recently in a lot of readings, so that's no surprise there. This is what's been causing, all of those activations have been causing a lot of imbalances and kind of shifts and moves, and it's causing a little bit of unrest, especially for the Divine Masculine, much more for the Divine Masculine. So where they are right now, we've got another 10. We've got transformation in the sense feeling alone. So this is very much there for some people, but don't forget, this is kind of hitting that rock bottom and then moving up kind of energy. So this is, there is movement happening. There is definitely, this is that point. If anyone's been feeling uncertain, this is why. It's because there is a shift to a newer gear and a new direction. So where things were going, kind of looked like they were going down, now they're going to be going up. And there is a sense of completion, a letting go of boundaries, and a letting go of this feeling alone, a letting go of this Five of Pentacles equivalent of feeling out in the cold. It's a kind of, people are dropping their burdens, all the things that kind of were making them feel bogged down. That's what they're fighting against. Again, this is much more kind of, this reading is weighted towards the Divine Masculines because what they're going through right now is quite heavy. They are fighting battles basically, and they are going to be tired after that battle, and they're going to need a bit of a rest. But what's happening in this time period is that's when all of these things that are no longer needed are going to be let go of from their entire energy body. So that's a good thing. And I'm seeing that the solar plexus, the fire from the solar plexus chakra is also, and the solar, you know, the inner sun, that's being reflected right now. That's what's burning away all that karma, burning away all of those unnecessary things and fueling that fight. I'm seeing a lot of fire, burning that star. This is it. So and of course, the more that the divine, and I'm also seeing this right now, the more that the Divine Feminine can step into their light, the more it's going to help the Divine Masculine kind of ground a lot. And where is this going to go? Where is this leading to? And this is what's really beautiful. We've got the Emperor, the sign of Aries, and we've got the Chariot equivalent, which is the sign of Cancer. So here, I don't know why I'm so guided to mention the star signs in this reading. I don't normally mention them. And then we've got more Aquarius here. It's clarified by the Queen of Swords, which is all of the air signs. So what I'm seeing here, I really do feel like this is a lot of masculine and feminine energy uniting here, which is really nice. The Queen of Swords was upside down, so I would say that there might be a tendency to be a little bit cold and a little bit unstable, a little bit, all of these, you know, cards, they can be a little bit volatile. I'm seeing volatility. So what the outcome immediately could be a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of volatility. So that's definitely something to watch for. But at the same time, this is absolutely no nonsense facing up to things and cutting it, not being afraid to cut all the BS out. This is also a case of really taking responsibility and stepping into power and going after what it is that they really, really want. This is very much, for me, a sense of empowerment. This is a sense of the divine feminine letting go of a lot of BS, especially the divine masculine stepping into empowerment a lot. And that's what's going to lead to a lot of coming together. This is actually what it is. It's the divine masculine taking control more, and the divine feminine releasing that need for control more. And that is what's going to come into balance and bring people together. So that's the huge thing to take away from this reading. One more card that wanted to be shown was the Three of Cups. So we've got the Three of Cups coming up in both readings, from both decks. And this is a case of celebration. This is it can be third party situations, but I'm not getting that vibe. Whether you're involved in anything that's a three-way thing or not, I'm seeing this in this reading. This is very much more about reunions and about comings together, I should say, and also celebrations. In terms of underlying energies, this can cause some confusion though. There could be some kind of interference for a small group of people from third parties, and this is what the fight is about. This is what the divine masculine is. It's interesting how it wanted to come up here. This is what they're really battling. It's like, how do I get away from this? How do I break away from this? And what are my this is what they really want, which is the divine feminine. But how do they get from this only 3 cups to this 10 of cups as well? So that is there for some people. In terms of the underlying energies, we've got this, refusing to see. And this is referring to the Two of Swords. So it does look like a little bit of a stalemate. There is still that kind of delay. There is still that kind of deciding what to do. There is still that kind of slight sense of hesitation, of just feeling blocked. So there is that feeling of being blocked still, and lack of movement for this particular group. And the other underlying energy for the clarifiers is the 5 of Cups. So the Lord of Loss in Pleasure, and I'm being drawn to sort of read what it says underneath. So it's Lord of Loss in Pleasure. And that's basically specifically the divine masculine for some reason, I guess, because all of the clarifiers are pretty much for them on this side anyway. And it's about them realizing the things that they were clinging on to that do not make them happy. That's what's coming to light, and that's what they are learning to fight against and to leave. So that is that for now. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. This is also on special for now. You can get this and any of the other specials up until if you get it, well, it's pretty much too late to get it right now, but if you do want to purchase it over the next couple of days, over the weekend, I will do the reading for you pretty much next month. So you'd have to wait a couple of weeks for the reading. If that's okay with you, you can still order any special over the next few days. So thank you so much. If you did like this, please do like, share, subscribe. I love you guys who already support me so much, and just thank you so much just for watching. Please do hit that like button if you haven't subscribed already as well. Please do subscribe. I really appreciate everything, and I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing weekend. Lots of love. Bye.